Hi everyone, my name is Eric Schurter, and I'm the product manager for the editor group, which is part of the create stage of the DevOps lifecycle here at GitLab, and I'm excited to share with you what we have planned for the 14.4 milestone. As usual, I'll link to our planning issue in the video description, and you can click through and see all the issues that are scheduled for the milestone, but I'll highlight a few for you today. Overall, as a company, as a product, GitLab is focused this quarter on improving reliability, scalability, and security. And the editor group's no exception. We have our backend team actually working on some larger reliability initiatives, and so our planning for this milestone is very front-end heavy. But we're hoping to pitch in on that theme by focusing on two main categories, the web ID and the wiki, and I want to highlight what we're working on there. For the web IDE, we're really looking at continuing the work that I think I covered a little bit in the last kickoff, but we have a redesign of the state management system going on in 14.4 and probably carrying over a little bit into 14.5. This is improving how we handle changes to the state, the file state as it gets displayed in the web IDE, and handling some instances where it wouldn't be accurately displayed. So overall, this is really not going to offer a lot of new features and functionality, but it should offer improvements in reliability, more maintainable code base, and some performance boosts in the end. So we're really excited to continue working on this area. One thing we want to squeeze in, it's a small improvement, but one feature we want to introduce in the web IDE in 14.4 is the ability to quickly open up any file that you're viewing in the repository view inside the web IDE. This is a pattern that some of our competitors have started to adopt, using the period key as a keyboard shortcut to quickly open up the file in an IDE to start editing. So we want to adopt the same pattern. It's a fairly straightforward shortcut. We already have the web IDE available through a button on any view like that. So this is just a quick UX improvement to hopefully improve discoverability and awareness of the web IDE. Shifting over to the wiki, I think I mentioned this before, but carrying this over into 14.4, we have a new approach. So right now, there are wiki pages that contain a very large amount of markdown, and they can take a long time to load, 15, 30 seconds. Right, how we load the wiki page right now means that when you click that link, it can seem like your browser or GitLab is very unresponsive. In the worst case, it can result in 500 errors or 502 errors and fail to load the page. So we want to optimize the way the wiki pages are loaded altogether and asynchronously load the bulk of that markdown content by displaying the rest of the wiki page first and then progressively loading that content in later. This should help reduce our overall error budget and generally make the wiki more responsive, but ultimately just serve to be a better user experience because you'll have a little more understanding of what's loading on the page and what's taking so long. And sort of as a separate track, we're going to continue working on our content editor implementation. So I've talked about this a lot, but this is our WYSIWYG Markdown editor. This is an initiative that overall will serve for a much more reliable and delightful Markdown editing experience, and we will continue working towards our quarterly goal of building out support for all GitLab flavored Markdown content and making sure that the content editor, the new WYSIWYG editor, can display to render all those types of content, all those nodes. And so we have a few left over, just a handful of issues to pick up in 14.4. We made huge progress in 14.3, so we should be able to wrap this up and meet our quarterly goal. The other part that we want to focus on for the content editor is feedback that we've received frequently related to the WYSIWYG editor, and that's not everybody wants to use a WYSIWYG mode to edit Markdown. We know that, and we always intended to build the ability to toggle between the WYSIWYG mode and a raw Markdown editing mode. We're going to do some technical exploration and UX definition in 14.4 so that we have a clear plan moving forward when we're ready to implement that feature. That's all I wanted to highlight for you today. As I said, the planning issue has links to all of the deliverables and stretch goals for the for the milestone, and I'd love to provide more detail and feedback in those issues if you want to ping me.